And we're recording. This is the sig-network meeting from Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. So I think we said we're going to skip issue triage this time around. I think Valerie got paged right before the meeting, and nobody else has that lined up. So why don't we move right on to dual stack phase 2?
Cal, you're up.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Just phased out for a bit. Let me share my screen. So do you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So I put everything I could in one entry. All right, under the agenda. Where we stand today is the core service endpoints work I think is almost done. We're waiting on Tim for one final review for a change on the way we default things for upgrades and downgrades and all of that. The proxier's work. There are two parallel PRs. One is at, I think, completion state, just pending reviews. I have done my own review on it, and it could use a pair more eyes, two additional eyes on it. The IB tables one is still in progress, so I'm talking about this one now. All right. That's that one. If in order to merge, in order to support services doing dual stack on Kubernetes v1.16, we need the core one, the first one, and at least one of the other two. All right. Ultimately speaking, we need the other two, but one should be enough for us to provide the alpha feature. The rest is really a catch-up work from phase 1. Now there is a PR to support multi-siders for cluster cider. So if you're not aware of what's happening, we used to support only /24 for v6, and obviously that's a truly big cider for node siders. So that one actually supports multiple sizes for nodes, so it allows you to run v4/24 and v6 with whatever. All right. E2E test for phase 2 is ongoing. Sadly, we had to break the API the last 2-3 days multiple times. So any work anybody did on the dual stack, I'm so sorry. The APIs have changed. There is a brow job PR for the E2E test, and we need to merge that. There is the Azure ELB support for people running clusters. I'm hoping that we do this as like, okay, this is how a cloud provider would do it, right? As a start, everything is beyond the feature flag, obviously. The last thing, which is also needed for the complete support, is people will need IP mask agent that supports dual stack or IPv6, and we merged the change. We just need a release over there. That's where we are right now.
Hi, Carl. Antonio here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. What happened with the host port thing? You know, the host ports and Kubernetes.
I knew I missed it. All right. So there is another. Tim already did a pass as well on it. Tim Hawkins. So this year on as well. The host bus specifically, the host bus work is specifically for v6, but it's also needed for dual stack. So this is where we need this. Yeah, somebody added it. Thank you.
So hey, this is Tim. Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Yes, great. I can hear you too. I'm spending all of my free time now between now and code freeze doing PR reviews. I've got at least 4 that are all touching kube proxy. I am terrified of this. It's like air traffic control, and I see 4 747s, and they're all going to hit the same runway at the same time. Everybody who's dealing with anything kube proxy related really needs to be on the ball with rebases. These are not going to be trivial rebases. Some of them are going to require you to go back through and patch your stuff into different places. And code freeze is next week. So I want to encourage people to be paying very close attention if you want your stuff to be landing in time. And I hate that we're down to the last week again, but at least we're a week in advance and not 2 days in advance. So this is my warning to everybody who's got kube proxy related pull requests.
Tim, have you seen the bug that I filed with the contract thing? I'm pasting the link in the chat.
Is it a bug or a PR?
I'm opening it. I'm opening it for everybody to see.
It seems that the contract version that comes with the Docker image is not able to handle the IPv6 family.
No, I have not seen that one.
Well, it's funny, but
okay. Can you assign it to me so that I can make sure I find it? My usual loop at the beginning of each day is open all the PRs and issues that are assigned to me and see how fast I can go through them. If it's not assigned to me, there are things that are getting lost. I know this, but it's the best I can do right now.
Okay. No.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Any more on dual stack?
Yes, just the last thing. Do you guys have a feeling that we can merge before the phase 2 work before the code freeze? What's your feeling towards that?
So your PR is super close. What I'm waiting for is one of the proxy PRs to be ready. And I know Valerie is one of them, and I think she said she got paged just before this meeting, so she may not be here right now. Are we going to be able to get one in line? That's really it.
I have a feeling that the IPVS one is more closer than the IP tables one.
I think that's probably true, but it looked like each of them needed to steal something from the other.
Okay. Fine.
So I would very much like to get it in. I think it's super close. That and the endpoint slice one both feel like they're very close, but they're both multiple large PRs. And so they need to be queued up, and whoever lands first is going to cause hell for the other.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. I think the only other thing on the agenda was core DNS.
Yes, hi. I just have 2 small points. I'd opened a PR which includes the migration for core DNS config map in the QBub upgrade script. And the only thing which is required is an approval. I think one of the approvals is Bowie. It would be good if it's approved as soon as possible so that it can go through the CI cycle.
Hey, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, and the other thing is we would like to get version 1.6.2 core DNS in this Kubernetes release. So I just opened an issue and assigned it to Tim. So just putting it out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very soon, the new staging repos will be self-service, and I will no longer need to be the choke point on that. We're just not quite there yet.
Is this the PR says do not merge?
78302.
This one?
Okay. I'll try to find it.
Okay. Any other topics people would like to talk about in the larger group, or
Hey,
we
Tim,
haven't done
based on
earlier.
your comments for the services PR, the first one there, services endpoints, about nil for the IP family, was there anything you wanted to bring up in the larger group around upgrade, downgrade, or IP family being nil and having to backfill that?
Yeah, awesome question. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so the context is we're adding a field to a stable API, which is acceptable. We have a general pattern when you do this of checking whether the feature gate for that field is enabled, and if not, blanking the field out on creates and updates. But the question arose, this is a slightly different field in that it has a default value, but it's not a static default. And the default value, because it's not static, was being done, we're being very clever. We're setting the default in a different piece of the REST processing stack, which means that it would not be as complete of a solution as if it was doing static defaulting. So Cal and I had a very fun conversation with Jordan Liggett, who helped us figure out how we can cover all the bases on this. Cal, is that right? He's nodding.
Yes, I think so, at least.
Okay, so if that's right, then probably you have a new one in my mailbox, and I will go look at it this afternoon. And if that has all the bases covered, then that's done. I think this case is a relatively special case in that we have this weird defaulting. I thought maybe there was a general problem for API evolution changes, but I don't think that this generalizes. I think this is special. So there's that. So I'll follow up on the PR on that today.
Okay, thanks.
It will become a generalized problem that like dynamic defaulting and so on as the API evolve, because some of the things depend on cluster configuration, ambient environment, and so on. And all of this data is not driven into either the validation, the defaulting of the API processing. Everything is left to controllers and or stuff like IP allocator. It's not a today's problem, but it's gonna be becoming prevalent as things evolve, I think.
Well, if it becomes more prevalent, then at least we've got an existence proof where we think we reasoned through it once. And in all likelihood, we'll probably find something that we missed, but we'll find that on the second or third person who tries to do this. And it's all alpha right now, so I think we're gonna be okay on this one. And I do think we've got all the bases covered. So.
Okay. Shall we give everybody lots of time back, or should we do some triage now that Valerie has shown up?
I would be fine to go review PRs.
We can't hear you, Valerie, if you're speaking. Okay, we're gonna cut it then.
Okay.
See you all next time.
All right, bye.
Everyone.
I was wondering about that.